And good evening and welcome to the Geek Show.
Hey!
Yay! Sorry, I just had something pop up on the screen. Couldn't see a thing at all. So welcome everybody. I hope you are all happy. So first of all, if you are online, please post who you are, where you are, and where you're connecting from, guys. Skelly, how are you, sir? In the top corner.
Quite tired. What day is it?
Wednesday. I think it's been one of those days. One of those weeks, actually.
One of those fortnights.
So, Guten Morgen to Doug over in sunny America. We have Shane, Doug, we've got Tony. People are just jumping on now. You can catch up on the YouTube side, guys. So please subscribe, like, and share. So you're okay. So, Andy, how are you, sir? Down in sunny Worcester.
All good. So much for sunny Worcester. It's been peeing down all day.
Excellent. So today, I think we're going to, first of all, let's start off with Blood Bowl season 2. Should we give
season 2?
Hold on. Give me 1 moment, guys. Let us just get this party started. Look at that bad boy. Yay. So, Andy, what is because we had a few people commenting last week who loved what we were talking about but had no clue what Blood Bowl was. So what is Blood Bowl season 2 and when did it come out and sort of about how much first?
Okay, so Blood Bowl itself is a sport. It's a tabletop sports game, but don't let that put you off. It's sports with chainsaws, so American football with a chainsaw, bazookas, that kind of thing. It's been around for donkey's years now. It's been around since the mid-'80s. Blood Bowl Season 2 came out last November, and it's updated, new models, new pitches, lots of new stuff in there. Anyone who's played Blood Bowl before pretty much knows how to play the game already. This hasn't really changed much. It's just added a few little tweaks and a few more things for positional players like throwers and stuff. Price point is an amazingly low £85.
Wow.
Considering you're getting two teams... star players, big guys, the rules, the pitches, the templates, everything you could possibly need to play Blood Bowl. It's silly cheap how cheap it is.
Wow, so that is the board.
That is the board. That is a double-sided pitch. So there's actually another pitch on the other side of it. I think that's the human pitch. It's nice and grassy. But if you flip it over, there's kind of a dirt finish pitch, which is the Orcs pitch. And same with the dugouts. The dugouts are double-sided, so you've got human dugouts and you've got Orc dugouts as well.
Oh my god! So how big is that? Is the pitch just for people?
It's a fair old size. Well, I think it's. Well, hang on. Give me a second, and I will get the pitch.
Oh, you've got a pitch. So Skelly. So when did you first get into Blood Bowl?
It was earlier this year. Annoyingly, just not long before the second season was announced. So I've got the 2016 reissue. But I've wanted it for years because it's been on my radar all the years I was into Warhammer and Games Workshop stuff. So I finally decided to treat myself for my birthday last year. But then, of course, the second season got announced. So I got the first season edition. But it's similar. Anyway.
Oh, let's have a look, Andy. Hold on. We're going to zoom in on Andy. Holy hell.
It's like I say, it's a fair old size. That's the back of it then. So all the front, whichever way happens to suit your fancy. Yeah, so it's big. It's
for our Australian viewers, yes.
So yes, quite a large thing.
Oh my god,
that's a huge pitch.
That is a huge
big board. One big board.
Also, the quality looks amazing on it, doesn't it?
Yeah,
where it's got sort of
really
stuff
good
blood and.
Yeah, and really good thick cardboard as well. This thing isn't going to fall apart instantly, and it's not going to kind of make a mess or anything like that. It is really good, high quality product.
Wow. Let us. Okay, so can you all see the screens, guys? Mm-hmm. So I believe these are the players. So well, Andy, do you want to start off explaining what are we looking at?
Yep. So this is the human team. These are the human nobles. So kind of the quick backstory for these guys is these guys were Blood Bowl stars many years before, and they kind of got fat and wealthy off their fame and off playing the sport, retired, but have now been coaxed back into coming back again. So they're still using the same old armor, but some of them may have, shall we say, gained a few pounds of excess muscle, and the uniforms don't fit quite so well anymore. But yeah, big feathers, really pretty models. And obviously you can see the guy in the middle with the bird is Griff Oberwald. He's your star player.
Right.
He's had a number of incarnations over the years. This is his latest model in plastic. Big guy behind him, big ogre as well. Again, he's been out in plastic for a while, but they've actually put him into the box now.
Oh, wow. So these look amazing, actually.
They are beautiful models.
For a person who's not very good at painting, this scares me.
To be honest, it doesn't matter. They come in. Let me just quickly grab a couple. So they're in red plastic out of the box.
Yeah.
So there you go, red plastic. Obviously, multi-part kits. These are some really nice multi-part kits. Even though it's kind of static poses, you don't get a lot of choices when it comes to how you want them to stand without doing a lot of work on them.
Yeah.
They are, as you can see from the pictures, they are lovely, lovely models. Humans are in red. Orcs naturally are in green. And star players are in blues and all sorts. But yeah, you don't have to paint them if you don't want to. Really, they come in two separate colours, so you can tell them apart easily on the board. But if you are going to paint them, just paint them in a blue or red or whatever colours you want. You don't have to try and kind of go mad overboard with it. Just get some paint on them and get them on the table.
Wow. So, just before we go to the team, it's a question for Skell. What is a star player? What is the star player?
As the name suggests, he's a star player. He's a particular. He's like if you had your Warhammer army, he'd be a character or a leader. So he's the captain of the team. He's the best. He's a storied, long career player. Probably with mad special skills. So he's a bit of a standout model.
Oh, so he can do it. He's got a bit more.
He's got a bit more bite, a bit more oomph. Yeah. When it comes, the humans have another star player called the Mighty Zug, who, as the name suggests, he's a bit like a train. He's just like a bit of a brick shit house.
So me being a bit of a devious Blood Bowl player, I would personally go after him and try and kill him. Is that a good tactic, or am I?
Well, you can send your ogre after him. Anything goes on Blood Bowl, you know.
Yeah. But is that a good tactic for you and Andy? Is going after the opponent's star player and trying to kill him?
Always. Always get rid of the star player first. Even let your opponent score a touchdown whilst you're focusing on that star player, because there's a kind of a mixed bag of whether you want a star player in your team, because they are very expensive gold-wise, because you pay gold for everything in Blood Bowl. Yeah. And star players are very expensive, so it is a kind of all your eggs in one basket situation that most opponents will go for your star player straight away.
Right.
They are pretty survivable though. They are because they're so packed with skills and so good on the board. Then yeah, they're pretty hard to get off again. But again, it's luck of the dice. You can end up losing your star player on turn one.
Okay, let's go. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we've got a.
And there he is.
There's Griff.
There he is.
Griff Chickenhead.
Yeah, Griff Chickenhead. Even his turkey's got medals. He's obviously a Bee Gees fan. So, guys, if you're online, please post up what teams you are playing with. Let's see if we can go to this one. Oh, they are very good. How on earth would you paint words and lettering? That must be so unbelievably small.
Sometimes that's part of the plastic, so it's like an engraving on the plastic, so you can just run your brush over the design, and you can get with a use of wash.
Yeah, alternately, it might just be a water slide transfer that they come with. Because you get team names and numbers and all sorts of stuff like that on transfers in the box.
Yeah, quite useful. You get the position as a little transfer that you can put on the back of the base, so you know it's a thrower or a blocker, etc.
Oh wow,
quite useful.
Let me just go through these. They look amazing, don't they? They look good fun to paint.
I feel that one's probably me. that has me about it.
Because he's got a beard.
Yeah,
that'll be it. Yes.
I also like the handlebar moustache. It's it's going to come back in at some point.
They're a very characterful team, the Bogenhafen Barons. There's got kind of a theme.
I've never heard of them. Have they been around for long, or
I think they're new.
They are new. They're new to this box set. Yeah.
Wow.
Bogenhafen's a tiny part of the empire.
Now the orcs look stunning.
Yeah. So again, you've got
over to you, Andy. What are they?
So the Black Orc team, it's a slight variant on the old just regular Orc team where you had Black Orcs as your blockers, weirdly without the block skill. What they've done now is they've basically gone, here's a new Black Orc team where you've got Black Orcs and you've got Goblins, you've got Star Player, and you've got a giant Troll as well in there. So that's the Star Player that we're looking right at now. Varag Ghoul-Chewer, who was previously Forge World resin model that's now in plastic.
Wow.
And going for silly money on eBay. Apparently, the resin one's $170 or something silly like that.
Oh my God.
Because they've stopped doing him. But yeah, the Troll was out before, and again, plastic kit. But otherwise, these are all new models. And yeah, they are very cool Black Orcs and Goblins.
Wow.
Best thing about
the detail is stunning on them, isn't it, really? If you're new to painting, because the way they've actually sort of do the molding and the actual figures, they're nice to paint because they've actually got sort of they're very very edgy in 3D. So
they lend themselves to washes and contrast paints, definitely. So all skill levels can they're accessible to all skill levels, definitely. And it's worth noting the special skill of the Troll. He can pick up one of the little dudes and just lob him down the field. That's what I've always loved about the big guys. They can do that. Throw the ball or throw someone with the ball.
Yeah, you do have to be very careful with Trolls, though, because they do have a tendency of eating their own players when they try that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they've got a 1 in 3 chance of eating the player they pick up to throw, because they can only throw little guys like the Snotlings and stuff.
Well, you know,
and it's gone.
If you miss breakfast, though, you know.
Oh yeah.
Can they regenerate still in the game? Because that's always been a thing of Trolls.
Yeah, they still do that. They still have the regen where they'll just move up the dugout, so the injury will get lesser and lesser.
They keep on kicking then.
Oh my God! So, hello to everybody online. These are looking amazing. So, what teams are you? Do you personally both play with?
Me, I'm always halflings. Always have been. Always will be halflings. I think we were saying last week. I like smashy teams, and halflings are my smashy team. 16 halflings. That's all I want.
And over to you, Skelly. What are you playing with at the moment?
Oh, well, I'm painting up currently the starter sets. That's humans and orcs. But I think my team will be my Dark Elves, Nagaroth Nightmares. And also I've got the Fire Mountain Gutbusters because it's got 4 ogres and just a shitload of Snotlings. So they can just boot all the Snotlings down the field and then just wade in there with the fists. And that's a steamroller team. And I'm probably going to treat myself to the Lizard Man team too, because I know back in the day I was a Lizard Man player, and I just think I've got to do it.
Wow.
Oh, so, filthy Lizard Man. Oh.
Filthy Lizard Man. So
filthy
Andy,
Lizard Man.
What is the next thing to come out for Blood Bowl?
Well,
do we know?
We do. It was announced this week, actually. Warhammer Community have announced this week. We have Blood Bowl Death Zone expansion. So it's just a book, so there's no miniatures or anything like that coming with it. But they basically are going to expand what you can do with your Blood Bowl. So it's going to have new things in it, like mercenaries. So rather than paying huge gold for your star players, you can just hire some mercenaries to play on your team. Give that little bit of edge, a few extra skills that you wouldn't normally have, but without spending big on the gold front.
Yeah.
They're also doing change of venue, so you've got new pitches and environments. So rather than just going, oh yeah, we're playing on grass or astrogranite or whatever, they're actually doing environments like swamps and things like that as well. So there'll be a lot more interaction with what's going on the pitch and the weather and stuff like that. And Blood Bowl 7s, that's the big one. That's the big thing that we've been excited about for this. Blood Bowl 7, so miniaturized Blood Bowl. So rather than having 11 players on the pitch of each team, you're now only playing with 7s. It's a much faster paced game, much quicker to play for us as well. And it's a lot of fun. You can do a lot more fun things with it and trial things out you wouldn't normally do on the pitch, or things that you kind of plays that you want to try and have a go at without having to play a whole game of it to try it. You can just go, have a go at Blood Bowl 7s. Takes a little while to pick up, but once you do, you'll be flying through it. It's really good fun.
So where are the rules? Are they in that new book or for Blood Bowl 7?
For Wilson, they're in that new book. The new book has the rules for all this new stuff. I think there's some new inducements as well in there, and some more skills and things like that. So yeah, it's basically just a book of rules and extra things you can do now to add more flavour and a bit more variety to your Blood Bowl games.
Oh my God! So when does that come out? And do we know how much?
We don't know any other details at the moment. It was announced this week, so we assume sometime in this quarter, probably. So who knows? Anytime in the next 3 months. Normally, it's not too far off when we see things like this, so hopefully shouldn't be too long. I'd imagine the price point to be probably about 25 quid. That's normal for one of their books from GW, so that's what I expect.
Oh, that sounds good. Is that normally like a hardback book?
It will. I would imagine so. Yeah, they normally are hardback books when they come out. Some of the smaller releases come out in softback, but generally it's all hardback stuff. So I'd imagine it will be for this one as well.
Oh, right. Oh, awesome. So, Skelly, what are you currently painting at the moment?
I'm still plowing my way through the Blood Bowl starter set, but I've also been painting up because to break things up and keep things interesting, I do a couple of Blood Bowl players, one from each team, and as well I'll do another model from something else. So I've been doing my way through an Underworld's warband. This one's Witch Elves. So I'm about halfway through them. I'm about to start a Melusai, which is like a snake lady. She's got the body of a snake and the upper body of a dark elf lady. She's got a nice big bow and arrow. So looking forward to starting that one. And then I've got some Macedonian cavalry as well on the backlog. Who's coming in next?
Oh my god! So what game was that? What other game was that you were talking about?
Oh, Underworlds.
Yeah. What is that?
That's it's a board game from Games Workshop, and it's very similar to Warcry in that you have war bands who are from different races. So each of the different factions is represented. You have about 4 or 5 different fighters, but there's got more of a card-based game than Warcry. So it's a kind of a deck building game. So it's a lot of back and forth countering of different ploys and counters and traps and plots and things from the card deck that you've built. And there's different objectives that you move around the board. So it's quite an interesting self-contained game. It's a different mechanic from your dice-based one.
Oh, wow.
It's got dice, but they're special dice with different symbols, so it's quite far removed from the Age of Sigmar and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we will be featuring a different game each week. So, guys, in the comments, please post your likes, share, and also put some comments on what games you'd like us to cover. We've got, I think, next week, Andy, we are going to try and cover a multitude of post-apocalyptic board games.
Yeah. Post-apocalypse is cool, and it's always cool, but it's even more in vogue at the moment. So yeah,
it's even cooler with V2A. Yeah,
it is. You've made it your own. You've made it cooler, just with your presence.
So guys, post up in the comments some of the games that you know of that are post-apocalyptic. I've got a big collection. I know Andy has. I'm not sure. Scully, have you ever collected any post-apocalyptic board games?
Does Advanced Hero Quest count?
No, but it's a great game, and we will be covering that one of the weeks because Hero Quest is awesome. So, Andy, what have you been painting this week, sir?
Actually, I haven't had much time to paint this week. I've been busy working on the website and working in the shop
Oh,
and stuff
yes,
like that.
yeah.
So everyone make sure you go and check out worcesterwargames.co.uk because that's the website. It's up and running now. Lots of secondhand stuff on there as well now. Started putting the books on.
Oh, you got secondhand stuff. That's good.
At the moment it's just the novels, but we will work on getting some more stuff on there. This week I've painted a couple of tanks, a couple of Sikaran tanks from Forge World. Did those for a commission, and a Land Raider Proteus. I'd love to show you them, but they've gone.
Yeah, sure. Just a quick slowdown. So tanks, as in Second World War tanks kind of thing?
No, Horus Heresy. So Warhammer 40k, but 30k. So pre 40k, 30k.
30k. Okay.
Yeah, 30k, as we call it. It's basically Forge will do most of the 30k stuff. So there's Horus Heresy, the things that happened in the lead up to what everyone knows as Warhammer 40k. It's basically the precursor to that, where the Marine chapters all split up and all the Primarchs kind of had their thing. Just a few tanks from that. Forge will do them exclusively, so they do some really nice resin kits. Bit on the pricey side, but they are lovely when you do get them. I painted a couple of those. I've also painted, as I was determined to get something aliens painted for this week. So I managed to get a Ripley and a Newt painted. That's all I managed to do this week. But they are done. They are finished.
They look amazing. So afterwards, if you can send some pictures up, we will put them in the comments on the Facebook site, etc. So how were they to? Well, first of all, before we go into that, I had a go. So I've started. I have. Oh, hold on.
If anyone is eating, look away now.
Look away now. So I've actually started. Let me just zoom in. Hold on. I've had a go. Look at that. Dry brush. I sprayed it black. I dry brushed it and then I used a wash. And I've.
Have you done its nails?
No. No. It was a quick bit of feedback from a newbie like myself. It was hard to put together.
Yeah.
I'm used to Games Workshop, which are nice and easy. I found that slightly fiddly, which I've just done.
You've broken it now.
And there goes the
tail.
tail.
Is probably there goes the tail. Yeah, the amount of times the tail flies off. Oh my god! Because it doesn't really bolt in. There's not like a joint. It's like a little ball, and you sort of go.
For a perfect killing machine, they're not got their greatest design then.
Well, I'm not sure where mine's gone now. Mine's ran off.
That's concerning.
It's loose in the house.
It's loose
It's in
in
the
the house.
ducts.
You got a motion tracker.
But yeah, but once it is made, they look absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
It's just I just found it fiddly because it's that small and that it's not like the Games Workshop ones where they've got proper things. And you know that the one load of Blood Bowl figures where you can just clip together without glue. You know, they were so.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
No.
If you can imagine, that's on one end, and then they're on the other end of you have to have some skill in glue things in the right angle. But they are beautiful. So, what recommendations then, Andy, went to first of all glue them? Because as I said, I spent like a week and I've managed to do 12 aliens for the glue, but that's took all my time.
It's a difficult one. It's one of those things. If you use plastic glue, once they're together, that's it. They're never coming apart. They will melt together and they'll bond perfectly. And it's fantastic. The only trouble is it takes forever to go off. Whereas super glue, you can use activator and it bonds really quickly, but all it's doing is gluing glue to glue at that point. So it's not a very strong bond, but it will be quicker. So it's one of those swings and roundabouts. Quick, super glue, good bond, plastic glue.
Right. But I followed the instructions. Well, first of all, as you said, the bases are different, so you can't get too cavalier and cut everything out because they are specific for figures, aren't they?
They are, yeah. That was the mistake I made. I cut all the bases. I go, I'll do all the bases first. That's why I'd normally do it. It'd be great. I feel like I've achieved something really quickly, and then went, oh yeah, actually the aliens' feet are molded onto the bases, and then you've got 4 different types. There's 4 different alien sculpts and 4 different types of bases, 2 of each, or 4 of each. So you get them all mixed up, and it becomes a bit of a ball ache then to try and work out which one goes on what. I made that mistake. I don't recommend it. Because some of them are just toes. It's literally just toes on the base, and that's all.
You've got like a toe. You're sort of gluing the ball of the foot to a toe.
Yeah, and there's no connection point or anything to it to go. That's specifically how it sits. It's like no. Once it's in the right spot, beautiful, really good. But yeah, it's horrible when you don't.
Also, what I did find is because the aliens' arms are sort of the joint is flat, so you can place the arms in any angle. You could have them up in the air like the aliens surrendering or running away, which I found quite funny. So I've got one of those in my band. But
can you do YMCA?
No,
you probably could. I'm sure you could with a bit of persuasion. One of my other things I was going to mention tonight, which I haven't told either of you about, so for both of you, we had confirmation yesterday that the new alien stuff should be with us tomorrow. I was hoping it was going to be today for the show, but it hasn't quite made it to us.
Hold on. Whoa, new alien stuff.
Well, I say new alien stuff. It's not new. It's just all the figures from the sets individually. So you can buy a box of just alien warriors, or you can buy the Queen. You've got the Heroes of Hadley's Hope and stuff like that. So it's smaller boxes, not a game. It's just bonus stuff for the game. However, I did also discover purely by accident that we're being sent more of the hazards and assets. So for those of you that didn't get the computers and the crates and the sentry guns and that kind of stuff and the eggs, they are now coming with this order. So we are being sent some more of them. So those that did miss out, you can now get the hazards and assets. They are going to be readily available.
And that is from Worcester War Games. So what is the website again, please, sir?
Yeah, worcesterwargames.co.uk. Hopefully, all being well, it'll be on there tomorrow. So as soon as it arrives, I'll get them up there. So, check them out on the website. And they'll be available to get posted out, collect, install.
So, guys, again, because you are watching this live on the Geek Show, you have a heads up first. So get in there quick. So always try and watch the show if you can, guys, because anything new coming up, we'll always try and give you a little sneak peek to give you a bit of a head start against the opposition. So also a big thank you from Tony. Tony has had all his stuff just today. Excellent. So he's super excited. So Tony's going to be building aliens for the next 2 months or whatever. It looks awesome.
Quick note to Tony. Also, I did see you post up a question about Blood Bowl. Creating your own teams. Yes, by all means, create your own teams, use your own models. You can use anything you want for Blood Bowl. There's no restrictions as to, you've got to use the correct teams. There are lots of third-party teams out there as well you can get. But back in the day, models, clip the swords off or whatever, and that was my new Blood Bowl team. Some
Awesome.
of the models, Saurus warriors and stuff, are fantastic, and skinks. You just literally clip off the weapons, and you've got a Blood Bowl team of lizardmen. So yeah, you can use whatever you want.
Or leave
Or
the weapons
aliens.
on, and they look badass. Yeah, an aliens Blood Bowl
You can
team.
do an aliens Blood Bowl team.
First, so a question on that: how would you work out the stats for them if you're making your own Blood Bowl
run
team?
them as something that's already there. Just look at something that's already there and go, that's
Like a
what
lizard.
I'll run them as. Look, lizardmen, yeah. You go, there we go. That's a team of Saurus with some skinks, and your queen alien is your Carnosaur. It's your big guy. Your Proxidor, sorry, not Carnosaur. So yeah, there's no reason you can't run anything you want.
Ooh, that is so exciting. So a quick question then. So how many's in a box of these individual ones now for the aliens?
So as far as I know, it's 16 in the aliens box. So it's basically just the sprues that were in the starter set, but taken out of it and put in just its own little box.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I assume the Hadley's Hope, the Heroes of Hadley's Hope, will be the Ultimate Badasses box, and so on and so forth.
Bloody hell! Do we have any idea of prices yet?
I don't just yet. No, I'll find out tomorrow when they arrive. So yeah,
because I think I need more aliens.
Always more aliens.
Because they've been a pain to make, but when you paint them, they look so good.
It looks so nice. Yeah, to be honest, I've been reading a lot of stuff online, Facebook community groups and stuff for aliens, and most people said we don't need more. You don't even need all the aliens you get in the box. But it's not a case of need. I want more aliens. I don't need more aliens. I want more aliens. At the end of the day, who doesn't want a swarm of aliens charging across the board at you? There's no reason you can't come up with your own campaigns as well, and you can have things like endless tides of aliens charging at you and see how long you can last for. Why not?
Last stand must have been a hell of a fight.
It is amazing. So, Skelly, are we enticing you on the aliens game?
I'm feeling tempted. Yeah, I have to add those to the pile of shame.
I must admit, it is. I am totally blown away by how good it is. As I said, I haven't had a chance to play it yet because I'm still in the gluing stage, and then I'm going to be painting stage. But I am desperate to get on it because it does look stunning, and I can't wait to have a look at the aliens, the Queen as well, because that's going to be.
Yeah.
Have you got yours out of the box yet, or?
I haven't. I've seen it out of the box. I kind of opened the box up and went, "Oh my god, that's all amazing!" But that's as far as it's gone. Because if I get the alien Queen out and I get the power loader out, nothing else is happening until that's done.
That's
my little. Yeah, that's my reward for when I've done the Marines. Because the Marines at the moment are kicking my ass just looking at them, going, "They look amazing," but oh, what a paint scheme!
Well, that was going to be my next question. So, guys, if you've got any questions for the people for the team, please post them up. I saw a couple of videos this week on painting the Marines, and they were doing camo, and that looks crazy because they're smaller than a Blood Bowl person, aren't they? Well,
yeah, they're probably
the same size.
They're probably 28mm scale. They're hang on, any Blood Bowl players somewhere. There we go. So,
wow.
Okay.
To be fair, that's an ogre.
So yeah, that is much bigger, but still, comparative scale wise, it is massively different. I have no infantry lying around. I've got ogres, I've got trolls, I just haven't got anything else. But yeah, they are considerably small. They are probably 28mm.
Well, for next thing, can you just describe how you painted Ripley and Newt?
Slowly and repeatedly. Yeah, to be honest, I started with these because I knew I'd be able to find plenty of reference material, and it was a fairly basic paint job. Just go online and kind of Google image Ripley and Google image Newt, and it was like, that's pretty straightforward because it's just blues, blacks, and a bit of brown. The only thing I kind of did bulk a little bit on was Newt's helmet, just for the fact that it is, again, it's a camo helmet.
Wow.
Try and get that slightly more in focus if I can.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the camo doesn't show up particularly well. But yeah, that's the camo I knew I've got to do on the Marines next. And it's like, and I've seen a lot of painting tutorials. Again, I looked on YouTube for them, and there's lots of painting tutorials on there, and everyone's painting them differently. Yeah. And some people are just done them in plain greens with a wash on them. Some of them in browns with a wash on them, which is all fine and well, but I want to get them a little more screen accurate. So it's kind of finding images of the armor and the uniform underneath it, and then you kind of see the intricacy of the camo design, and trying to recreate that's a nightmare. But they'll be done for next week. They'll be done for next week. They will, all of them. The whole thing will be done for next week.
Really?
No,
No,
not
no.
even, not even
Maybe
close.
one. Maybe if you could do one. If you could do one, that would be good. And I'm going to hopefully, by next week, I'm going to try and build all 16 aliens, and I'll take a photo of them. So we will be doing our painting competition, but I think we'll leave that either to next week or the week after, because next week is the post-apocalyptic games, and then we do it on the one after. We've got a load of other games coming up, guys, so please post your comments so we know which are the ones that we'd like to do. There's things like Star Wars Legion. That's a good one. I quite like that. Anything Star Wars, Hero Quest. What are the cool names or cool games could we do?
What else is there? We can always have a look at things like Tanks and World of Tanks, because that's got a new board game out, or a new tabletop game out now. Tanks is a slightly older version of it, which is always great fun. Freebooters Fate, if you like pirates, there are some pirate games out there that are really good, cool. Dead Man's Hand, I'd love to do. Dead Man's Hand's great Wild West game. Love to do something about that. Yeah,
definitely. And also we could do a card game one of the weeks. So as I said, I am a massive fan of this. I've had quite a few goes of this now. The Umbrella Academy card game, between 1 and 6 people, but you all play cooperatively against the bad guys. Awesome. Really, really like that. And have you ever a quick question to Skelly? Have you ever played Top Trumps?
I have, many a moon ago. In fact, that was probably my first ever introduction to Games Workshop. Back when they were doing their alliance with MB Games, I believe they did a series of Top Trump decks based on Warhammer, or really old school Warhammer 40,000.
Combat cards. Yeah,
Citadel combat cards. They were my back in school.
So, Andy, are you a fan of Top Trumps?
Yeah, again, like Skelly, I played Top Trumps way back when I was probably late primary school. I think I only ever had one set of actual proper Top Trumps, which was the one I got, and it was just like that was the only one I'd ever played, because I'd memorized all the cards, so I knew it was the best thing to have. But yeah, the combat cards were amazing. I've since gone back and bought all the combat card sets on eBay and stuff, just because there was only like 6 sets of them. I never went mad with it, but yeah, just to see those old school metals painted like that are just amazing. So yeah, just for the artwork,
the models.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a bit of a loaded question, because Vita have only got their own Top Trumps.
No way!
Oh yes!
Oh my!
For the graphic novel, and we'll do a sneak peek of them on Saturday night's Freak Show. So exciting, yes.
So is that part of the Kickstarter, or is that a separate thing? Can we buy that at local retailers?
They will be available at a local retailer in Worcester. I think most of our stuff will be available at a local retailer in Worcester. They're going to be available separately, but certain levels we're going to just sneak them in because they've come out really good. So certain people are just going to get them at a certain tier levels as a surprise. So, very exciting. So, quick question over to you then, Andy. What else in the world of gaming has happened this week? Is there any news? Anything new? And
there are a couple of things. One of them isn't necessarily new, and it's not gaming, but it arrived this week, and I'm very excited by this. I've never been so excited by something in at least a day.
Until tomorrow, when the aliens.
Until tomorrow, when something new comes in. But I've got my Necronom Nom Nom, my H.P. Lovecraft, the cookbook.
Oh,
and it
nice!
Is absolutely stunning. It is amazing cookbook. It was like $14.99 on Amazon, so it was dirt cheap as well. But it's a lovely embossed book as well.
It's just brilliant.
All 3D, but yeah, and it is superb. It's absolutely fantastic. Anyone that is a fan of H.P. Lovecraft stuff, you've got to get one of these, because it is written with such love, and it is genuine recipes. You can actually cook food, and there are drinks recipes and kids menu and all sorts in here. But it's written in the style of H.P. Lovecraft, so
the recipes you then read out loud.
Yeah,
just in case
it really is. You're adding the yellow sign to your recipes. It's
One of my friends has a copy, and he's posted up a couple of his results, and it looks stunning. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Would you ever be stocking that in the shop?
I would love to if we could get it. Like I said, I had to get mine off Amazon just because it was one of those things. We were trying to get hold of the Heroes Feast, which is the D&D cookbook. We couldn't get that. We happened to get one. Saw this and went, "I'm getting that. That's sold. I'm having that." So yeah, I would like to stock this in the shop. We'll have to see. Maybe if I speak to the right outer gods, I will be able to get it. I will be doing. I've decided I'm going to do some videos of me actually making some of the recipes out of this, just to see how it goes, because they are quite fun. But they are
dressed like a cultist.
Dressed like a cultist. I might even do a dinner party. Might do a live stream maybe with you guys.
Yeah,
we'll have a dinner party. Once we can all get back together, we'll all get together and we'll have some food and we'll make it out of that, and we'll all dress as Victorians and stuff.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And then go mad.
And then go mad.
So when we are allowed back out again, does Worcester War Games do you actually run Blood Bowl tournaments? We do, yes, we do 5 tournaments a year. So we do the 4 regular ones, so Spike, Blood Bowl, the Chaos Cup, and the other one which I can't remember the name of. And we also do the Stunty Cup. We do the Stunty teams, so just Stunty teams only, which is always a bit of a laugh. So you do halflings and squig teams and all sorts of mental stuff like that. So yeah, we do 5 a year. We've got our own trophies and everything made for them. Jack Whitefoot 3D 3D printing does that for us. Right. Yeah, they're always great fun. They're always a bit of a laugh. Get a few games of Blood Bowl in as well. Meet some nice guys. It's not massively competitive either, so it's always just a bit of fun. Excellent. So Skelly, you'll have to come down one of the weekends. And we'll have to put teams, in, bring some teams in, get some V2A mob in there. So that'd be awesome. So where do you normally play those tournaments? Is it in the shop or is it? Well, depending on size, really. Depends how many tickets we sell. Obviously, downstairs, for anyone that hasn't been to Worcester War Games, not only do we have a store front and a shop, below it we have the basement where we have another 10 6x4 gaming tables set up. So we can fit easily another 20 people downstairs to play Blood Bowl. Alternately, we have the hall behind the St. Swithin's Hall where we can fit, I think, another 30 odd tables. So depending on scale of the tournament, we can either play it downstairs in a nice kind of casual environment, or we've got that great big hall out the back and we can play there as well. Oh, wow. So who normally who's the team to beat at Worcester War Games? Who's the good one out there? Who do we have to nobble? To be honest, it varies. It really does. I know, I don't know if Sean will be watching, but Sean's Furballs, which is his Lizardman team, are always present. They're ever present at their tournaments, and they're always a good, fun team to play against. But yeah, it varies. I know the Chaos Dwarfs did very well at the Stunty Cup a few years back. So yeah, it varies. You can kind of turn up with a really strong team, have a bad day on the dice, Nuffle kicks you in the nuts, and your whole day falls apart. So yeah, there's no way of knowing. It could be anyone. I don't think we've had anyone win the tournament more than once. I think we've always had a different winner every time. I'll see to it if I have to. Exactly. So I managed to get some new brushes on Saturday from the Click and Collect, which is very, very good. So thank you very much for that, sir. I had so what brushes did I get? What were they? They are Kalinsky Sable, so they are natural brushes. Kalinsky Sable hair on them. Yes. I can't remember what. I think you got a 0 and a 3. I've got a 1 and a 3, and I already had a 0 and a 1. But they're between the 0. Well, I prefer the 1 now because the 0 is too small, as you said last week. You just can't get any paint on it. It's okay for real fine lining and stuff, but you don't need to go any smaller than a 0. And a 1 just does it's an omni brush. It'll do everything. I only ever generally use a 1 size brush, and that's it. And it just does everything for you because it always goes back to a point. As I was saying, they're really good quality brushes, so that they return to a point every time, so you can do everything with them. Right. Because I must admit, I really love those brushes. So, Patrick, what brushes are you currently using at the moment, sir? I tend to use Army Painter these days because they're durable and quite versatile, and they do a good range of sizes. I actually recently got into their hobby range because they're a bit like Vallejo. Vallejo do the game color, which are war games. I think this is for war games, but they're also at the side they have their model range, which has an absolute ton of colors. Just like that, Army Painter, they have war gamer brushes, I believe, which have nice triangulated handles, look very nice. But they've also got a hobby range, which have actually a really good different range of points. They've got base coating brush and a highlighting brush and a detail one, and they actually retail for a bit cheaper than the wargaming range. So that's my new go-to brush, I think. Oh wow! I must admit, I love the cooking book, Andy. That does look amazing. You'll have to give us a recipe or something every week, or recommendations. I'm really looking forward to getting into it, even if it's just for the cocktails at the beginning.
Oh,
is
those
it?
cocktails.
There's
Oh, yes.
cocktails.
There's cocktails. I might get stuck there for a little while, just trying
Well,
out, just making sure I've got the recipes perfected every time. So
have to make one before you cook as well. You have to have something to sip on while you're working that hot stove.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. So a quick question to you, Andy. Paint mixers, you know, the vibrating things. Are they any good? Is it worth purchasing one, or is it?
I don't know, to be honest. I really don't know. They've suddenly become very in vogue. Everyone's kind of saying, "Oh yeah, they're doing this." Obviously, a lot of people are doing joke videos where they're attaching them to like drills and things.
Yeah.
I personally, most of us are or have been of an age where we've developed fairly strong wrist muscles, so we can shake the bottle quite vigorously. Obviously, you get to an age, and every time you do that, all you can hear is the rattling in your wrist rather than the rattling of the bottle. I assume they're okay. They'll do exactly what they're supposed to, which is to shake your paints. They will vibrate them. They'll do what they need to. Whether or not they're any use or worthwhile, I don't know. To be honest, I can't see that I'd bother with them. But then at the same time, I was the same for painting handles. I was like, what's the point in a painting handle? And they sold billions of them. So who knows?
Exactly. So a quick question now, just sort of back to both of you. On the aliens, because they are so delicate, how would you store it, or how would you carry them around? What is there? Do people make boxes, or do you magnetize them?
Just in your hands like that, really carefully.
Well, I tried that, and
yeah, we saw what happened then.
One's ran off.
Work on the thing. Just put them in your hat. Take your hat off and fill your hat with aliens.
I could do, but I mean, just when you're not playing, because they look the type of thing that you wouldn't really want to stick back in your box and give it a good shake and stick it back on the.
I think there's a whole market in carry cases for miniatures. There's plenty of different types you can get with different. You can customize the packing foam. You can make the little boxes the size you want based on what miniatures you want to put in. I think there's from what I've seen, there's quite a huge range out there. I mean, remember back in the day, Games Workshop used to do a generic case, which is kind of bobbled packing foam inside, which was I go to.
Was it egg foam or something it was called? Yeah, the little black case, snappy case. As Scotty was saying, there's KR do a huge range of them. Battle Foam do it. Battle Foam are generally the first guys on the market to do all these kind of things, to go specific foams for specific games and stuff like that. Then KR will come along later on and do a much cheaper variant of it that isn't necessarily as good, but does the job perfectly.
Yeah.
I do recommend KR because they are really good cases. It's the ones we stock in store, oddly enough.
So just a quick question. So how much are they? How big are they? How many figures can you fit in? Because the one thing, you're super excited. You've got your Blood Bowl figures. You've been painting them like mad. You've now got to get them to a tournament, without bits falling off, etc., etc.
The KR cases are fantastic for that because they do a range of different size foams, different size cases. They do a little half-size case which you can get, I think, about 4 layers of foam in. And because Blood Bowl is such a small-scale game where you're only using like 16 to 20 miniatures, you can get 4 or 5 different teams in there, or maybe multiple systems. So you can get your Underworlds gang in there with its cards. You can get your Blood Bowl in there. You can get your Warcry in there, your Dead Man's Hand, your Freebird. You can get a whole bunch of stuff in there with a tiny little case that's like 20 quid.
Seriously?
So it's not, it's really nice little compact cases KR do. And they do like double size ones as well that are bigger than that, and then they do bigger than that as well, and all sorts of stuff. But they come with a whole variety of different foams that you can chop and change, pick and choose, and does what it needs to.
What do the cases look like? Is it like a briefcase, or?
I was going to say, here's one now, and I haven't got one next to me. Essentially, the KR ones are cardboard. They're this like treated cardboard stuff, and a few people looked at them and said, "Oh, I'm not too sure about that because if it gets wet and stuff, they are water retardant." So rain will just run off them. Obviously, don't sit in the bath with them because it will soak up the water eventually.
Yes, Skelly.
Don't sit in the bath with them anyway.
I like bath night. I like to have something to do.
Where does he keep his rubber duckies if he doesn't have his case?
Yeah.
Cool. Think about it. But they are really good cases, and they're really sturdy as well. They are much better, I would say, than the new GW cases. The new GW cases, I don't like the foam, and the plastic feels very cheap. But KR, much higher quality. And again, Battle Foam, or there's a whole bunch of different Tyrant cases. I think it's the other one. Tabletop Tyrant is another one. There are a whole bunch of different companies that do cases, and they're all very good. Like I said, I just recommend KR because it's the ones we stock, and they're very good.
Awesome.
With regards to the Aliens box, actually, a lot of people now, there's a massive market on like the Aliens board game Facebook page with people doing 3D print inserts for the boxes. So when you've taken everything out of it, you can punch all your cardboard bits out and your tokens and stuff, and people can 3D print an actual an insert that will sit inside the original box that holds all the stuff in there as well.
Oh wow! I haven't seen that. There's a Facebook site, is there, for it?
There's 2 Facebook pages for Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core. I don't know whether either of them are official or what they are.
Yeah.
On both of them, because that way I can kind of keep an eye on what's going on. But yeah, there's 2 separate Facebook pages for Aliens board game, and there's loads of people posting up painting tutorials and ideas and questions and how to play guides and all that kind of stuff. Really, if you are interested in the Aliens game, they're well worth getting onto. And yeah, people up there are sharing STL files and stuff for doing like the 3D print of the vehicles, the APC, and also for inserts for your boxes.
Oh my god! Do you reckon they'll actually do like the drop ship at some point?
I can't see why they wouldn't. I know there is already an STL file out there for it, so I can't see why somebody wouldn't do it, and then somebody will come up with some kind of mission.
Yeah.
But again, it's having quickly looked through the book or the box, it does look like you can kind of come up with your own different missions and stuff, so you could maybe do something inside the dropship where you've got the alien on board.
Yeah.
So,
it does look amazing, doesn't it? I must be. I just can't wait to play it. So as soon as we're allowed out, I will be over to Worcester War Games, and let's cause some trouble.
Yeah, definitely.
I wonder if we can play it online. If we've all got a copy, if we've all got a copy, we sort of, I don't know if it would work or not. I've no idea.
I know people have played a few games online. They've done it like via streaming sites and Zoom and stuff. I think the only issue is you don't feel like you're taking part because the person who's got the game is rolling the dice, moving the figures. All you're doing is sat there going, I want to go here or do that. So I don't think it works particularly well for things like that.
Yeah. You mean a bit like the PC version of Blood Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go there. Oh, I've lost the dice roll again.
Well, talking of which, as a wonderful aside, a little aside you put me up for there, other news from this week is the new White Dwarf's been announced.
Right.
White Dwarf 462. White Dwarf, for those who don't know, is the Games Workshop. Let's call it a magazine for now rather than a catalogue or advertising at expense.
A quick question before you carry on. How often does it come out? Because is it weekly or monthly?
Monthly. It's changed back to monthly again after about 12 months or so as being a weekly magazine. They went back to being monthly because it just made more sense. But we've got a freebie coming with the next one. So White Dwarf 462, which is I think out either end of this week or end of next week. It's soon. I know that much. Yeah. 12 free PC games, Warhammer PC games. So basically 12 games for free on Steam.
Oh, wow.
People have been going mad for this. I've had loads of messages today. As soon as it got announced on the Warhammer community today, everyone's been messaging me going, can I get a copy of White Dwarf? Basically they're giving away a Steam code so you can get free copies of, I think, almost all the games they've released so far.
Could you save me a copy of that?
I can save you a copy of it, yes. Yeah, if anyone wants a copy, I think we've got 25 copies coming in or something. So, yeah, get in touch with me as quickly as you can on Facebook or whatever and make sure you get a copy put to one side. Because, I imagine people are going to be selling the Steam codes and all sorts of nonsense will be going on when it comes out. But, so give me a shout and hopefully we can sort just about everyone out. If need be, I'll get some more if I can. But you got all sorts of stuff on there. Talisman, the RPG Talisman, Dawn of War, Space Marine, Total War, or Total Warhammer.
Hell.
Yeah, they're doing all the. I think it's almost all their games. Vermintide 2, the latest one.
Well, there was a Dungeon Bowl game going back. I think it was an online one, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah. That was going back a ways. I think that was back in the days when you had to kind of wind your PC up to get it going. Yeah. That's not on the list. that one's not on there. But there's 12 free games on Steam. So everyone's going to want a copy of that.
Bloody hell! How much is White Dwarf? And
White Dwarf, I think, is £6. £6 for a copy of White Dwarf.
Awesome. And that's once a month, and it's sort of midway through the month.
Yeah, it kind of comes out at various times. They normally have a release date in the back of the previous one to tell you when it's going to come out. It's kind of an estimate more than anything. So they come out kind of when they come out more than anything.
Oh wow! Is there any anybody who you stock their items that you'd like to do a big shout out this week? If we do like a special one once a week, there's somebody maybe not necessarily somebody big. It could be somebody small who supplies you with some stuff. Who deserves a shout out on this epic channel?
Well, I'm pretty sure I gave him a shout out last week when we were talking, but I'm going to give him a shout out again this week because he is my go-to guy for gaming and everything else. Is Great Escape Games, Stuart down at Great Escape Games. They make Dead Man's Hand, which is my all-time favorite game. Cowboys and Indians. It's a Western game with pirates, apparently. One of those pirate Western games. Yeah. Stuart's a great guy. He's independent as well, so he does everything himself. He's got, I think he's got World War II games just come out. He's got a Chicago Way game, which is all about prohibition and that kind of thing. Wow. But Dead Man's Hand is my go-to game. I could play that all day, every day. I love it. It's got a great range of models. He's a stand-up guy. He does some great stuff, and he's always there to help. So
did he actually invent it? Is he part of the
it's his stuff. So yeah. As far as I know, he has complete creative control over the whole damn thing.
Wow, we have to get him on one of the weeks as a celeb to explain the game and go through it with us. Or
Yeah, definitely.
So
he can explain to me how I'm getting it horribly wrong because we kind of bastardise the rules a little bit, and he probably won't recognise it if he saw us playing it. That's not my game.
Yeah, and there's definitely not pirates in it because it's
definitely not pirates. There could be pirates in it if you want to.
There could be.
There's always room for pirates.
There's always
a room, isn't there? Always.
There is.
Brilliant. Is there any news on your side then, Skelly? Any news this week, sir?
I've painted my ogre, and I'm pleased with him. So he's ready to get bashing. That's about it.
Have you played Blood Bowl much, or are you still in the sticking them all together and painting them stage?
I'm still painting through, and it being lockdown, there's not much chance to play with people. So making good use of the time, I like to think, by getting through at least 2 teams. So I've got people who want to play. So as soon as we can, we're going to play. So stuff should be painted up then. So that'll be good. Definitely. And also some Underworlds, because that is a good game.
Underworlds, brilliant. That sounds awesome. Just on my side, there are lots of. We've been asked to attend quite a lot of Comic Cons because now I am a writer of comics, graphic novels. So we have been invited to a lot. So there's quite a lot coming up. So at the moment, because we're all locked down, so guys, please go onto the Worcester War Games site. Have a look at some of the games that we've been chatting about. Get some stuff in. Start painting. It's so relaxing, and it's an ideal time at the moment while you can't really go out and do anything as well. So, and these games are amazing. So, I think once we are out, we will be able to do a lot more together. So that's really good. Very excited about all the Comic Cons and all the festivals and everything coming up. Also got Disney Plus this week. So started to watch WandaVision, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I am a big Marvel fan. It's a bit odd, but I like it, and I think it's going to sort of go down the House of M kind of route. If you know what I'm on about, that could be a bit of a spoiler. If you've got no idea what I'm on about, then it isn't going to mean anything. But I think it is, and it's really good. I'm very impressed. And then Winter Soldier.
All the episodes on there now.
They are. That's finished, yeah. And then Winter Soldier starts on the 19th.
Yeah,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I think they're going to do one a week. So I tried to wait for all that lot first. If you time it right, you can sort of watch them all in a month and then cancel.
Hey! Get your month free trial and then quit.
And then just quit. Just watch everything. Yeah. So that was very exciting. And also, I think the Bad Bunch, which is the Star Wars Bad Batch.
Yeah,
it's coming out soon. So that's going to be quite exciting as well. Excellent. So Andy, because click and collect is up and running, I believe it, and all that. Like, people can still mail order stuff in and out. So, what is the biggies this week sales wise? What are the games that people are gravitating towards?
We've just had a big Kill Team release that came out at the weekend. So the whole new Kill Team board game with all the new stuff to go with that, and new bits of terrain and boxes of terrain. New book.
Stop. What is Kill Team?
Kill Team's 40k light, essentially. It's 40k,
okay.
but more not exactly a board game, but it's played on a much smaller scale. So you've only got 7 to 12 models tops, and it's
wow.
played on a little like 18-inch by 2-foot board with lots of bits of terrain and stuff on it. It's more terrain heavy than regular 40k.
Would it be right to say it's sort of like Warcry for 40k in that universe?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's much like Warcry, where you know, it's a lot like Necromunda, to be honest. If anyone's played Necromunda as well, it's that, but without the gangs. It's just more a case of you can go, oh, I've got Tau, so I can put on 3 fire warriors and a couple of stealth suits, and that becomes my whole team.
Is it called Kill Team?
Kill Team, yeah. Kill Team.
Hold on,
yeah. The latest one is Nexus Pariah. Or Pariah Nexus, I think it is, actually. But yeah, that's the new one. That's got the new Necron flayed ones. So Necron's wearing human flesh.
And a bit mad.
Completely mad. But yes, those versus, shockingly, Space Marines. Just for a change.
Space Marines.
Oddly enough, yes. I think there might be a lieutenant in the box.
Don't see many of them around these days.
Oh, is this? So this is it.
Oh, it's Meldar. I do like. What now?
Yeah, so I think this was the Elites release. So when they first released it, it was just Kill Team, and you had whatever you wanted. And then they kind of went, there we go, yeah. So we can add some extra elite characters rather than just being general spods. You can actually now start adding some special units and things like that in there to make it slightly more variable.
Oh, wow.
They've done hero boxes and all sorts of stuff with it. But yeah, it's essentially 40k with slightly more rules and a lot more terrain.
What I like about these games, like this and Warcry and Underworlds, is you're not having to commit to like collecting an army. Like if you can just get it because you fancy the models. Because I really fancy, say, some Siege stuff. I love the Siege Marines. I could just get a little kill team of them, paint them up, enjoy painting them up, and it's not such a big commitment as back in the day when you'd be like, well, I have to collect this army. So that's what something I like about it.
Yeah, that was always a big
into it.
Yeah, that was the big draw for Kill Team, was the fact that if you were going, I've always wanted to play Tau, but I don't want to get a huge amount of Tau, you just buy half a dozen models and you've got that Tau kind of itch scratched, and you get to get them on the tabletop at the same time. And obviously, if you already have an army, you don't need to buy anything new. You can just use the current minis you've already got. I think that was the main downside to Kill Team when it came out, compared to things like Underworlds. Underworlds, when it came out, every time you got a new gang, you got all new models, all these beautiful new sculpts that GW were doing. Whereas Kill Team, they just went, here's the models you've already got, but in a box at 3 times the price, and it wasn't nearly as good for that.
Yeah, that's not good marketing.
No. That's what it is. The great thing about Underworlds. Underworlds is a great game because it's very competitive, but you can play it for fun. It's a cheap buy-in as well, but it's got beautiful, beautiful models because they are all completely new sculpts designed specifically for Warhammer Underworlds.
That's the reason I buy a warband, because I love the models. But then the game is also a bonus. I've actually played the game, and I played it with someone who I don't think she's ever played tabletop games before, but she got into it just within a few minutes, and we had a couple of games. So really easy to get into, and it's quite good for narrative play, because the different things you do with the cards, the way the turns played out, it had almost a narrative feel to it. It just kind of developed. So I was very impressed, and I definitely want to play some more of it when we can. Yeah,
I think it's probably one of the best games, with the exception of Blood Bowl, obviously. Of course. I think it is
Blood Bowl game.
Yeah. It really, you can play it. We had a massive competitive scene for it in Worcester, all over the world, to be honest, or at least all over the country. It was massively competitive. GW did design it to be their competitive game. It was the one they wanted to do tournaments for, and they did lots of prize support for and stuff like that. But it is a collector card game. That was the downside to it, was the fact that by the time the next variant came out of it, or the next release of it came out, some of the other stuff was starting to fall off. And I don't think a lot of hobbyists were prepared for that. If they've been card gamers, they played Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or Magic, it's fine, because that's what that does. I think from a non-card playing base, which a lot of the gamers were, they weren't expecting that, and they were felt a bit kind of ripped off that they bought all these war bands to get all the cards, and then GW turned around and went, you can't use those anymore. Those cards are now banned. The cards are banned, or they're limited, or we're just not going to use that set at all. And I think a lot of people were like, well, hang on, I've spent a lot of time and money building, painting, and using this stuff just for you to turn around and go, you can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's not good.
The deck building I can get used to.
Yeah, I played it a lot. Like I say, we played it a lot in Worcester. We had a very competitive scene for it, but we had a lot of people playing it just for fun as well. And I played it for a lot of laughs. And it is a fantastic game because it can be played either way.
Oh,
And
wow.
you can actually use the warbands in Age of Sigmar, so that's an added bonus.
So I think we're going to do a special week of Age of Sigmar because I've never played it. So I've seen the models and they look really, really beautiful. So I'm quite excited by just getting some of those anyhow. I've got no idea at all what it's like or how to play it. So I'll be relying on you guys, but it does look fantastic. So Kill Team, so what else has been hot this week?
That's been about it for this week. It's been, again, it's that thing of everyone's kind of in a waiting pattern at the moment, just waiting for lockdown to end before they go big onto any big releases. We believe that the new Star Wars Legion releases are out either this week or next week, which is Agent Callus from Rebels and Lando Calrissian. The two new releases for that. So not a massive amount of stuff, but a couple of new characters. They're out anytime now. There's a few new D&D books as well. Candlekeep Mysteries is the next one that's coming out for D&D. That should be in sometime fairly soon. We've got a bit of a restock coming in as well at the store of some Vallejo paints and some of the Vallejo bits and pieces. We finally, hopefully, are getting some Vallejo Black 200ml bottles of airbrush primer, which everyone's been waiting for. So hopefully it's more of a restock time than it is a new release time. Nothing from GW at the moment about anything else. We've been asking them about the new Warhammer Quest. I couldn't remember it last week. I can't remember what it's called this week either.
It's the scary looking one.
Yeah, it's Cursed City or something it's called. If somebody posts it in the comments.
Is it Cursed Keep?
Cursed Keep, Cursed City. Yeah, something like that. It's definitely cursed.
That cursed place.
Yeah.
That bloody cursed place.
It's cursed. But yeah, still no news on that yet. We keep pestering our agent for it every week to give us some information so we can pre-order it, but they know nothing, or if they do, they're keeping stum about it. But yeah, that's the big release. That's what we're all waiting for. It looks amazing, beautiful models, and a really interesting setting for the game as well.
Right. Wow.
And if you're looking to get into Age of Sigmar, that's a good kind of gateway to get into that because it's set in that whole universe and the models are very much from that kind of thing. So it's a good starting point to kind of have a look at Age of Sigmar.
Oh, wow.
Maybe have a look at the Warhammer Quest game.
Yeah, because Blood Bowl's actually still set in the old world. It's still full like the old world. Everything else has been kind of reset with what happened with Age of Sigmar. But we'll get into that more when we talk Age of Sigmar. But it's just people talk about the old world and the new world and stuff.
Yeah, Blood Bowl is in its own universe completely from every other GW game, as far as we know. Just from the fact that the entire setting is designed to be there are no wars in the Blood Bowl universe. Everything is settled on the Blood Bowl pitch. So war has become a thing of the past. And if you've got a grievance, you just get your best 16 guys together and you fight on the Blood Bowl pitch, and that's it. No more war, just Blood Bowl.
Wow.
Just idyllic.
Just as an interesting fact, I am also an Oculus Quest, a VR fan, and I've been playing the Battle Sister 40K game.
Oh, yeah.
In VR, I've got an Oculus Quest 1, not the 2. I have a 1.
Just the 1.
Just the 1. But it's really good. I'm very impressed, actually. It looks really good. If you imagine it's just like a souped-up phone stuck on your face. That's probably the best way of putting it. The Oculus Quest 2 has just come out, and that's about £300, and it's a lot more powerful, a lot more, and it's got more enhanced graphics, etc., and a better screen. But the game's actually really, really good. If you like VR, Battle Sisters by Games Workshop, the 40K game, I'm loving it. Actually, it's
nuns with guns.
Nuns with guns. How can you possibly go wrong? And it's really good. The graphics are really good, really fun. As I'm quite new to the whole 40K thing, I'm just excited about all the things I'm seeing and running around trying to,
and the violence
and chopping things off with my virtual sword, etc. But really good. So I think they've done a really good job on it.
Different outfits?
No, well, because it's you.
As well?
Well, that's well, what we do on a Friday night, Andy, is just between us, I think, really.
That's undressing
show.
Undressing, but no, it's really good. So if you are a fan and you have got an Oculus Quest, Battle Sisters by Games Workshop is actually a really good game. I'd give it 8 out of 10. It's really good. There's about 10 levels. It's like a first-person shooter, but you can pick up power swords and all the rest of the stuff, and you can dual wield with both hands. Really well done. It's fully immersive in the 40K universe. They've done a really good job. Very impressed, because normally back in the old days, the Games Workshop games weren't that great, but I think they've really got into their stride now.
I think they've started to outsource most of their stuff these days, rather than kind of going, we're going to do it ourselves and get everyone else out of the door. So it's all us. We're in control of the entire thing. I think they've kind of gone, no, people know what they're doing, so we'll just get them to do it for us, and we'll just reap the benefits from it. And it's a much better idea. It's why the things like the graphic novels and the new games and like potential TV shows and stuff are going to be much, much better quality. Yeah, because they've got people who know what they're doing to do the job for them.
Is there potential TV shows? I haven't heard.
There are, yeah. There's supposed to be, obviously, for those that remember the Space Marine movie. For those that don't, you're lucky.
Is that the animated one?
Well, the CG thing back when
CG
was.
I watched that last year.
Yeah. It's not good.
CG.
It was CG. It had Sean Pertwee. Sean Pertwee did a voice in it. So
there was a land speeder.
There was. Yeah, but otherwise, no. Just no. But no, there's been a lot of really talented guys on YouTube doing their own kind of animated stuff. There's the Astartes short films, which the guy's been doing gradually by himself or with a small team, that have basically all been put together now that are just phenomenal to watch. And I think GW have kind of got to these people. They've gone to these people that know what they're doing. We'd like to do more in this realm of doing either TV or films or whatever. We need your expertise to go and do this. So rather than just stopping you from doing it, we just do it for us instead. And I think that's the way they're going with it. But there has been a rumor going around for a while that it's going to be some kind of 40K TV series, whether it's going to be a Netflix thing or an Amazon, we don't know. But we have been hearing rumors for quite a while now about being a TV show.
Wow.
That will be good if it happens.
I think it will happen. I think there's so much quality streaming shows coming up now. Especially from like graphic novels or games and stuff like that. I think the whole 40K is such a strong IP.
And there's so much to choose from. It's such a large universe to choose from of different things you can tell stories about. They'd be foolish not to do something with it.
Wow. Very, very excited. So I think we are just coming to the end of the show. So next week we are going to do post-apocalyptic board games. I'm going to see if I can get a few guests on as well. So we've got Tank, who Skelly knows, who's our Lord Humongous over in America. He actually goes to post-apocalyptic festivals dressed as Lord Humongous.
He is Lord Humongous.
He is a massive Games Workshop fan. He paints the figures, but he also has a load of post-apocalyptic games as well, because he's probably got some stuff. He also collects Mad Max props. So I'll just see who else is out there with loads of random games, just to see if we can try and do the definitive list of every moderately good post-apocalyptic board game known to man, and then we can sort of vote on them and work out which one's the best, etc. I must admit, there is some awesome ones out there. And there is some really terrible ones. All I want to say is Car Wars. Do you remember that? Steve Jackson Games.
I was actually about to mention that. I've got that at the shop as well.
Have you got that?
I have got a copy of. I'm sure I've got Battle Cars as well. I think
Battle Cars. Yeah,
Battle Cars, Car Wars. Yeah.
God, this is going to be a good one. So excellent. Just before we go though, so first of all, Skelly, any words to your adoring fans?
Keep painting and water your paints.
See, I've learned all of this kind of stuff. So, Andy, over to you, sir.
Yeah, same message. Scotty, you've stolen my thing. What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Water your paints. It helps them grow. Keep them in sunlight. No, thin your paints. But yeah, get paint on models. Come on. Everyone's off work. Get some painting done.
Get some painting done. Also, guys, ping Andy over at Worcester War Games. Get your White Dwarf. Ping. That is the hot one. So, got them all, including Truck Stop. Oh, wow, that's a Steve Jackson add-on. Truck Stop. I remember that. Pete Simpson is also a Mega City 1 judge. So he's part of the gang of us judges. All us Judge Dredd fans. Also, he is a big gamer and goes to a lot of the gaming shows and stuff like that. So we have to get him on one of the weeks because he's got a lot of stuff and a lot of knowledge as well. So that's awesome. So check out the new Worcester War Games website, guys. I'm very, very excited. And as Andy said, you're going to have some secondhand stuff on there as well, or some oldie stuff.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, novels are going on there at the moment. So I think we've done all the fantasy novels, we've done all the Horus Heresy novels, and now we're just working our way through the 40k novels. And then eventually we'll start getting some other stuff on there as well.
Wow. I looked at the website earlier on today and it looks amazing. It's super exciting.
It does look good.
Also, guys, later on, if you are in the West Midlands or anywhere in the UK, and when we are allowed back out the house, do pop down to Worcester War Games. It's an awesome shop. It is my favourite place in Worcester. I am sort of always in and around. It's just a friendly place. It's a massive shop. It is actually huge because some of these games shops, you think, you go charging in and it's like a 2-meter square cubicle. Your shop is huge, mate.
It does feel a lot smaller when you're in there because me and Tracy are both fat.
Okay. or maybe it's just the optics. It's the lighting.
It's the colours on the walls.
It's one of those things. They say that the camera adds £6. There are a lot of cameras in my shop.
Awesome. So thank you, everybody. And we will see you next week. So please post up, share, subscribe, and also post up your comments for some of the games for the post-apocalyptic special next week. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week on the Geek Show. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.